Good morning, everyone. As you can see, it is an extremely foggy morning here in South Brooklyn. In case you guys ever wondered what 1/4 visibility looks like, this is what it looks like. Actually, this is what you're looking at right here is 1/10 visibility. This is very low visibility fog. We right now are in South Brooklyn. We're going to be just walking around the streets. Maybe we'll get onto the coast. The coast is right next to me, by the way. I mean, I could get right onto the path, but we're gonna stay on the streets just to give you guys some perspective of how foggy it is. Look at this. It's crazy, huh? That's the park in front of us out there. You could barely see it. So the temperature right now is beautiful out right now. It is 60 degrees at 9 a.m. You're going to see people with like heavy jackets on and stuff. That's just, if you guys have watched this channel long enough, whenever we get into those days when we're switching seasons, you'll see the people that are still holding on to the winter jackets. Let's see how foggy it is. You can barely see these cars coming off of the highway here. This guy let me go. Look at that. We're going to cut through the park here and go into the streets. I'll give you guys a look. Look at this, man. You can't see nothing. That's the tennis courts over there. Start to hear the foghorns. We got some ships coming into port, so we'll be hearing that a lot. So like I said, it is 60 degrees out. It is very muggy, so it is warm. I'm wearing a light spring jacket right now. Look at that view. Looking across the park. This doesn't look right over here. Maybe it's the fog is playing with my perspective, but does it look like these trucks are like hanging off of the trailer sideways? Like they're about to tip over? Hold on, we're gonna go behind it and see. Yeah, look at this. This looks like this doesn't look right, guys. It looks like an accident. Oh, look at this. This is definitely bad. Looks like it was hit or something. There is debris over here and everything. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. I knew my eyes. I have very good eyesight, guys. Just to let you know. I could see things even through the fog. Look at that. I gotta be careful. There is cars on this road coming right now, so you can see right there. It looks like something got underneath the trailer there. There's a whole axle. It looks like the wheel came off. Look at that. Is that crazy? Looks like he lost the axle. So it's possible there wasn't an accident and this was just mechanical failure. So we're gonna have to get those mail trucks off of the trailer there, so they could deliver our mail. Maybe we'll be lucky and see this fog clear out as we're doing this walk, but I don't know. So right now we are on Poly Place. We're going to be walking right by the VA hospital. I guess we'll swing down by Poly Prep. Maybe we'll go up 92nd Street a little bit. Now down here at Dyke Beach Park and this area, this is an area you guys seen on the channel. We got hit with a lot of snow, probably the most snow in all of Brooklyn. We had a little over 22 inches of snow, and we still have snow down here. I'm going to show you guys some of the big piles of snow that were shoveled, that were plowed and left over here. Will probably be melting until April or May. But the reason I'm talking about that is because this fog is the reason why this fog is so thick, and you're probably gonna have more of these fog banks come in this spring. Is we had a really cold winter, so remember the water is extremely cold. The ground is still cold. I mean, just because the air temperature's warmed up, it's very cold ground. And like I said, we still got snow. I'm gonna show you big piles of snow in a moment, like 20-foot tall piles of snow, and you take all that and you mix it together, and when we get the regular fog is going to come in, all that other stuff that I just mentioned is going to mix in and enhance what would be a regular fog bank, and it's going to turn it into something like this. I don't know if you guys could see it. That's snow right there, just beyond the fence here. That's big mounds of that snow. Is probably, this snow right here is probably about 20 feet tall. A ton of snow that got put in here. See how high it is? Kind of stick the camera in there, give you guys a look. See all that snow that's got to melt. So that was I guess this was one of the points where they were dumping snow. It's similar to 1996 blizzard. When we had the blizzard of 96, they had used the golf course over here on my right here as a dump point, and they had snow. They had snow mounds in the golf course that were still melting in May that year. The time right now is... So here's the thing. We just had daylight savings time switch, right? So what would normally be 8 in the morning is now 9 in the morning. And I can tell you because, by the way, there's a VA hospital. You can't even see it. Look at that. The VA hospital is right there, guys. You can barely see it. That's my VA that I go to. It's very convenient when you're a veteran. You live like, right there. You can see the VA right outside my window, my living room window. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, daylight savings time. I'm still wired for the hour behind, and I personally, I know some people are going to disagree with me and everything, because there's obviously a faction. But I am one of the people that doesn't like daylight savings time. So it's 9 in the morning right now, but it looks like it's, it's still 8 in the morning for a lot of people. So you're not going to see a lot of people on the streets this morning. Maybe until we get up over by Bay Ridge or whatever. Probably this probably won't be a very long walk anyway, because I just wanted to do some walking and show you guys what it looks like out here. Probably make this maybe a 20, maybe, what is it, we're 12 minutes now? Maybe 25-minute walk, 30-minute walk. There's nothing much to see when you have this kind of weather. At the gate of the Fort Hamilton Army Base right here. So this right here is all poly prep. We're now walking away from the coast, so we're walking inland now. You can see the visibility over here is a little bit better. This is more like a quarter-mile visibility here. You guys are probably watching this a couple of days late. I am recording this walk on the morning of March 8th. That's what's going to happen now. We're getting into spring. I start doing regular daily routine walks with the camera. And what happens is obviously the videos start backing up, because I don't like to, every once in a while I will upload a video day after day, like daily, but I generally don't do that anymore. That's what I did when I first started the channel. I'm not one of those people that likes to saturate. There's a lot of I'm gonna start getting into a YouTube discussion, but there's a lot of different methods you could use when you're running a YouTube channel. And one of the methods that I use, that I don't follow any of the gurus. I've never watched any of the how-to YouTube video people. I just do my own thing. But one thing I've learned from experience is that it's better not to saturate. It depends on what kind of a channel you are. Like my channel, I can saturate because I am a vlog kind of channel, right? So I could easily do that, I just choose not to. So most of the time it's like an every other day kind of thing. Once the summer comes, like we start getting into the late spring and summer, then you'll start seeing me pumping videos every day. That's like my busy season, going from like April into like August. But I'll start to back up on video. So by the time you're watching this, it might be a few days since I recorded it. This right here is 92nd Street. Coming up here. We're just gonna walk a little bit more. Like I said, we're gonna do this. It'll be a short walk. We gotta get some of those, I like to mix in some of the short walks. The last walk I did, it was a pretty long walk, huh? I walked all the way from, so you saw the last two walks I've done, pretty much that was a one day production. That was I pretty much walked all the way from Parkside Avenue in Prospect Lefferts all the way to Bensonhurst, and I split it up into two walks. The last one we did was we started on Day Hill. Well, we started on like one of the, I forgot what street it was. It was like 35th to 36th Street. I don't remember, but we basically got onto Day Hill Road and then walked all the way down 18th Avenue. This is the old Victory Memorial Hospital, which is now Maimonides. This hospital, for a time, when it was Victory Memorial, and then for a time it was closed down for some years, and then about several years ago it reopened as a SUNY Downstate Hospital, and then just recently It's Maimonides. I think it's been Maimonides now for like 2 years. Around there, 2 years. Could be 3 years. So we'll walk down some of these little side streets. So we were just on 92nd Street. This is called Parrot Place. That's the name of this street, Parrot Place. I'll give you guys a tour of some of these little nook and cranny side streets that they have in this area. Some residential stuff. That's how we'll end the walk. We'll just do some residential walking now. Like I said, you're going to see not a lot of people out. People are just waking up. Because to them, it's still 8 in the morning. Still is for me. I tell you, I woke up and I was like, oof. I'll show you guys some of the fronts of these homes here. Get that little, kind of extends out the doorway. So this right here is 90th Street. You will see some high 80 streets and 90 streets down here. South of the I-2, what was it, 278? Speaking of the highway, it's up there. So these streets get cut off by the highway over here. These are streets that you never see because I never walk through them. They're very tiny streets, very small. It's a very set of small grid streets down here. This right here is called Battery Avenue. At one time, this was all the town of Fort Hamilton. So you're going to see a lot of these military terminology or military names on these street signs. Nowadays, I guess you would kind of consider this is like one of those, I tell you, throughout Brooklyn, you're going to have those gray zones. Like, what neighborhood is this, right? So, when you get into these areas, it's all about the vote and district lines, but we could very much still be in Dyker Heights right now because there is a street down here called Dyker Place, which lines up with this street right here. This is Dahlgren Place. Once you cross the highway over there, you're in Bay Ridge. So this right here is Dahlgren Place. And then when you get across 86th Street over here, it turns into Dyker Place. which is the last street you're gonna hit this way in Dyker Heights. You have some of these driveways that extend over to the next street that cut through these streets. This right here is 88th Street. This is 88th. Next block is going to be 86. There is no 87th Street. So, it goes straight from 88th to 86th Street. You can see how the fog is starting to thin out now. And that is not because the fog is thinning out. That is because we continue to walk away from the coast. There's going to be less dense patches of fog as you walk further away from the ocean. So although it does look like the fog is moving out, it is not moving out. It is just the patches are a lot thinner down here. So this is 86th Street right here. Get into Bay Ridge on this side. Light is about to change. Just gotta wait 1 second here. They have a turning green that they don't like to give the walk signal on, so we gotta wait just to make sure. There we go. Nice big American flag mural right here. So that's how we'll wrap up the walk. We will walk it down Dyker Place. So this road right here, we're on this like service sidewalk in between the highway and the apartment building and some of the houses. This is like a little service sidewalk. This is 85th Street. So now we're in the normal streets now from 85th down. I guess what we'll do is we'll walk a little bit of this, and then Dyker Place doesn't go far. It only goes like a few blocks. You could actually see the end of it down there at the end of the road. We'll walk down this a little bit, and then we'll take a side street and we'll wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for tagging along with me on this foggy morning. Looks like much less fog this further inland from the coast. So this is another thing I like to talk about is you could be living on one block in the same neighborhood, and one part of the neighborhood is extremely foggy, like we just witnessed. And now you walk just a little further inland. We've probably walked about a mile inland, and you could see how much the visibility has gotten better. So you could be on the phone with your friend only 10 blocks away and be like, I can't see anything out my window. And your friend's like, what are you talking about? It's clear over here. All right, we'll take 83rd Street and wrap it up. 30-minute walk is not bad. We'll wrap it up right here on 7th Avenue. This was a nice morning walk. I obviously got to keep walking. You guys get to go back and do whatever you guys were doing before you were starting to watch this. All right, 7th Avenue, guys. 7th Avenue, 83rd Street. We're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. Hope you guys have a great day. And stay tuned for more walks. We'll definitely be getting into some warm weather this week here in Brooklyn. We have temperatures probably getting up into the low 70s for a couple of days. So any snow that is still around will be melting a lot. So catch you guys on the next one. Take care from Brooklyn, and bye-bye.